Sounds like you farted in your mouth.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Nerd Cassette podcast, formerly known as G&G Podcast. I am Gato.
And I am Gabe.
I think, how long do you think we need to go letting people know that we used to be G&G Podcast?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't looked into that research.
Maybe a couple more. I think everybody we know is pretty caught up with who we are now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And of course, you know what's really funny is that every time we start setting up for the podcast, everything's pretty quiet. You know, everything's nice, and then as soon as we start recording, my two cats show up and start seeking attention.
Maybe they hear 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's like, time for pets.
Yes.
So yes, if you guys see my cats kind of hanging around, I hope you don't mind. If you're allergic, they're not really in there with you.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah, that's okay. Hi, kitty. Yeah, I know you're needy. I know. Anyway, welcome. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and like our videos if you've been enjoying them so far. Also, let us know in the comments what kind of other stuff you want us to talk about. We do welcome comments always, so please let us know. Let's have a conversation about what we're going to be talking about today, because we are talking about Batman. Because, you know, Batman's coming out. Batman is super cool.
Have you seen all the trailers?
I don't think I've seen the latest one. I think
there's like 2 of them now, right?
I think there's 3.
Oh.
Because there's the trailer that came out. There's a trailer that came out, what, like a year and a half ago? Something like that. I think it was summer of 2020.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was super pumped for that. The music choice was awesome. Even the few shots that they had filmed already was awesome. And then a new trailer came out, I think, wasn't it last year? Like fall time?
Is that like the exclusive clip? Where it's like a minute long or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't see that one because I didn't want to spoil it.
Oh, so so here's the thing. So I saw the first 2 trailers, and I know that there's a new one coming out, and they've been releasing a bunch of clips and stuff like that. But I know that you and I talked about trailers in general and why you don't like watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And because of Spider-Man, I've decided to avoid trailers. At least the full trailers. I think I still would like to see like teasers and stuff like that. But if it's a movie I really care about, I think I'm going to try and avoid them. So I haven't seen the latest Batman trailer. I have not seen any clips from the movie because I want to be surprised.
To clarify, I don't watch trailers for movies that I'm excited about. So if it's a random movie, like I just watched this trailer today called Bullet Train.
With Brad Pitt.
Looked pretty good.
Oh, so I haven't seen the trailer, but I saw it.
Yeah.
On my YouTube feed.
Like I'm fine with watching that kind of stuff, but
I agree. But that's the thing with Spider-Man. I feel like there was too many spoilers, even within the trailer.
Yeah.
And I want to, like I said, I just want to be surprised. I want to be like, oh, I didn't know that was coming. And maybe for somebody who watched the trailer, they got a better idea. So they're like, I knew that was coming, you know?
Well, even then, I still knew stuff were coming.
I mean, I think movies are set up to be like that, but I don't know. I want to try it out. Yeah. This year, it's one of my goals to not watch trailers for movies that like you I'm interested in. So Batman being one of them. Doctor Strange, isn't Guardians coming out this year too?
I haven't even seen the new Doctor Strange. That one was not a conscious choice. It's just I didn't have time.
Yeah, I've actually made a choice to not go look at it.
Okay.
I don't think I want to watch the Obi-Wan trailer either.
Have I seen
The series is coming out soon, so I'm assuming a trailer's gonna drop. I'm gonna try really hard to not watch it.
See, I would watch that because it's more of a, it needs to entice me to watch it. Because at this point, I'm like, I'll watch it if it's there, but.
Ewan McGregor's in it. It's Star Wars. It's Obi-Wan.
Right.
I'm sold. I don't need to watch a trailer to be excited for it. So I'm gonna try. No promises though. This is still a new thing for me. So I don't know if I'll be able to put it off. I guess it depends on how long before the show actually comes out, and then I'll know. But so you haven't seen any trailers for Batman?
I have seen 2 of them. I think the 2.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not to just like discredit the whole conversation we just had, but it was one of those movies I was like,
for real. You're like, yeah, I don't watch trailers of movies that I care about. So have you seen Batman? Yeah, I've seen the 2 trailers.
like I'm not really. I mean, I'm just interested in what this new Batman direction is. Not so much.
Oh. Does that mean are you a Batman fan?
Not really.
Really?
Did you watch the animated series?
I did when I was a kid.
Like, that was great. I loved it. My brother was probably more into it than I am.
I remember the intro more than anything. I don't actually remember anything from the show.
All I remember was Bane, and he cuts off like the tubes, and then all his muscles go away, and that's how it dies. It's like in every
I don't even remember
incarnation
that.
of Batman, they have that scene where Bane dies.
Weird.
Yeah.
The cartoon and the old show are the things that I haven't seen.
Yeah. Not even the new ones. Like the Batman Beyond, I haven't seen that one. Or just the original Batman, the animated series, where it had the original Tim Burton soundtrack on there. Or theme. Maybe not the soundtrack, but the theme.
So what is it about this movie in particular that like interests you?
I would say it's as weird as one would say the Christopher Nolan ones were realistic. This one gets more realistic, if that makes sense. It's a little more grounded than the Christopher Nolan ones. Like, I love the Christopher Nolan ones. Those are my favorite version of the Batman. But this one seems a little more grounded in a sense where he's not like this super clean looking rich dude. He's just like an actual vigilante, I guess. Usually when I think of a vigilante, they're not as clean or kempt or rich, so it's an interesting take on it. That
I have,
and the shot in the trailer. You haven't seen any of them, right?
well, I've seen the first 2. I haven't seen the latest one.
Okay, but the shot where he's in the hallway and then everyone's shooting guns and the muzzle flashes are the only light source and you just see a silhouette of Batman coming towards them, towards the thugs. Oh man, that shot sold me.
Yeah. I'll have to see if it's in the trailer in one of the first 2. Because it sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know. And see, actually, for me, in the trailer, what if I'm wrong about that? What if I've seen all of it? But I don't think so. I think it's the first trailer, not the final trailer that I've seen. But in the original, not the original, in the first full trailer, they show the chase scene, right?
Yeah.
And then they show that the Penguin crashes and he's hanging upside down and he looks out the window and Batman is walking towards him, but the shot is like upside down.
Yeah.
And then the Batman, logo
That is pretty
appears.
sweet.
That was really cool. I love the shot itself, right? It's a really good shot, but the fact that it like centers into like Batman with the logo, and Batman is upside down like a bat, like the symbolism of everything. Like I know it's kind of simple, but it's cool. And you're right. Like things from the trailer, like the way it's filmed, the way it looks like gritty. I'm really interested in that. But I think one of the first topics that talked about topics about this movie when it was announced and everything is that Robert Pattison was gonna play the Batman. I think it threw everybody on a loop.
Yeah, definitely.
For a loop, on a loop, whatever. Do you like Robert Pattison?
Ever since Tenet, I've warmed up to him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What else have you seen him in, though? Is it just like Twilight?
Twilight. I'm sure there was another movie I saw him in, but I don't remember.
Did you ever see Devil All the Time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where he plays the priest, dude.
Yeah.
He was pretty interesting in that one, too. That one was another role that was like, okay, this guy can act.
What about The King?
No, I did not see that one.
You never saw that? Okay. So, Twilight came out, right? What, 10 years ago, 12 years ago? When books were the movie? We talked...
Oh, yeah.
We're good. Yeah. Did we talk about this, or are we going to talk about it for the next episode? We're going to talk about the movies, how movies... there's like trends with the movies, and
I think we were supposed to talk about that today.
Yeah. How we'll talk about it. You guys will know.
Subscribe.
But subscribe so you can hear this conversation as well. But yeah, when movies were based on books, like that was the whole trend. So Twilight comes out. I was into it because girls were into it, so I wanted to watch it. And Robert Pattison, whatever. Don't give me that look. Robert Pattison, he's the Twilight guy, and then he's like the Harry Potter dude. What's his name in Harry Potter?
Radley. Oh my
no.
The actor, right? You talking about the Harry Potter actor?
No. So Robert Pattison is in Harry Potter.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
What is his name in Harry Potter, though?
I do not know. Let me look it up for you real quick.
Okay, let's look at it. This is gonna drive me nuts.
He was. Oh my gosh. Cedric.
Yeah. Okay. So, Twilight and Harry Potter are the only roles that I knew him from. I liked him better in Harry Potter, even though his role was relatively small. I really liked him. I thought he did a good job, and it's completely different from Twilight. So I didn't think of him as a great actor or anything like that. But what's interesting is when I heard that he had been cast as Batman, my first thought was like, why? Like, it's just weird, I didn't like the idea. But then people started posting like some of his acting skills and how he's like really good in that movie with The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe, sorry. And I was like, okay. And then Tenet came out and he did really good in that.
Yep.
Like I actually really liked him in that movie, and I was like, okay, like I can see this working. First trailer comes out, and I really loved his look. His jawline was like perfect for it. I'm like, his look at least will be good. I can't speak for anything else. But I started believing more in him as as the Batman when I saw more movies with him in it and seeing his diversity in his acting skills. The first movie that I watched outside of those movies was The King, which is what Timothy Chalamet.
You sounded Western there for a second.
I sounded Western.
Chalamet.
I am Western.
Chalamet.
Yeah. It's Chalamet.
Yeah.
Because there's no T pronunciation. Yeah. So The King is based on, I think, King Arthur III or something like that. It's like a Shakespeare thing. Mm-hmm. Movie's awesome if you like dramas. And Robert Pattison plays a French prince. And again, it's a relatively small role, but it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah,
and
I got that movie and The Last Duel confused.
Oh,
yeah, both
yeah.
medieval type movies. So.
Yes, and they came out at the same time. Well, close to each other. And then I recently watched The Devil All the Time, and that movie's amazing. It's really heavy, but I really loved. I love this acting. Basically, that's all I'm trying to say. So I have faith in Robert Pattison being the new Batman.
Yep. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about that.
You think he's gonna be good?
I think so. I think
he's gonna be
detail they have in the movie compared to the other Batmans is we never see it in the other movies, right? Where the black makeup that he has around the eyes. Each Batman that wears a cowl, right? They need to have the black makeup around the eyes in order to hide the transition from the cowl to their skin. So it looks more seamless. At least in this one, it looks like they take advantage of the fact that he puts the makeup on his eyes. And so, I think that's what I mean by more grounded, because they point out to the facts of either the costume or his character.
No, I get what you're saying about it being not as clean as the other Batmans, where you see the messiness of being a vigilante.
Yes,
and you can see that just from the trailer. I agree. Like that shot itself was actually a huge thing for a lot of people, where everybody was appreciating that, he takes the mask off and he's got the makeup still on his face. And I think that shows how grounded the director went with this movie, and that with the writing as well. Did you you said you liked the Christopher Nolan ones, right?
Yes.
With Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say before Robert, do you think Christian was like your favorite Batman, or do you have a different Batman favorite actor?
It's weird because Christian Bale pulled off Batman, but I didn't really see him as Batman. When I see Christian Bale, I'm like, oh, it's Batman, but I don't have that. I don't really have an actor that's attached to Batman. Maybe George Clooney?
With the nipples?
Bat nipples? No. It's funny. I didn't realize that they changed actors between the Schumacher Batmans.
You mean like the ones that came out in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 3 different Batmans. There's 3 different actors that portrayed Batman. We had the first one was Michael Keaton. The second one was what's his name?
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
And then it was George Clooney.
Yeah. Well, the Michael Keaton one was the Tim Burton Batmans, right?
And that was the first one, right? That's the one that came out in what, 1990, 1996, 1994?
Yeah. Oh shoot! Now I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't even remember the order of them. I just remember all of those three actor Batmans. They're all kind of mushed together for me.
I could have sworn the George Clooney one was like a separate entity of Batman, but it was part of the trilogy.
Mm, his is Batman Forever, right?
His one was Batman and Robin.
So who's Batman Forever?
That's Val Kilmer.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm looking this
Wow,
up
I
too.
didn't even. Holy moly! I just realized that.
Wait,
Batman.
so
Okay. That's so funny. I thought, for the longest time, I thought the George Clooney movie was just a separate Batman movie. I knew it was a third one, but not. I thought it wasn't part of the Tim Burton / Val Kilmer Batmans.
interesting.
That's so
Okay,
weird.
so the
No.
first one came out in
Okay, go ahead.
1989.
Yeah.
Is when the first Batman came out. Well, 1966 with Adam West, but we're moving to the modern era. So Michael Keaton was in Batman in 1989 and in Batman Returns in 1992.
Okay. Yes. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
And then Batman Forever in 1995 with Val Kilmer. Oh, so weird. So that one was the one with Mr. Freeze and
Batman Robin was the one with Mr. Freeze. Batman for I know, right?
Okay, I
right
am so thrown around.
Okay. Let me make sense of it. So we have two movies from Tim Burton: Batman Forever, or Batman Returns. Sorry, right? You have Joel Schumacher's Batman's, which was Val Kilmer, and then George Clooney.
Okay, so Batman and Robin is a sequel, but they changed the actors.
Yes, yeah.
So that's
so
probably
confusing. Okay.
maybe that's why I confuse the villains in those movies because I
Yeah.
feel like they have the same feel.
Exactly.
And with Batman and Batman Returns with Tim Burton, they have the same feel. So I actually even confuse those together. That's interesting.
That's the funny
So
thing about memory, huh? Wow, for the longest time I thought Batman and Robin was a third movie. But it's only two. It's okay.
and Batman and Robin was the nipple Batman.
The nipple Batman. Did Val Kilmer have nipples?
He doesn't.
Oh.
He's got the big crest on the chest and it covers the nipple area. But then you got George Clooney.
With the Bat card. The Bat credit card.
Yeah. I remember that. Oh, man. Oh.
Jeez.
And then, okay, so what do you remember of these? Because, like, okay, to be honest, I remember Michael Keaton and George Clooney the most. I remember one scene from the Val Kilmer movie, and it's not even him in the suit. I just remember him just, like, walking in his mansion and talking to someone. I don't even know who.
Probably Alfred.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
But do you
I
have a
don't
favorite
remember.
of these ones from what you remember?
No, I do not. It's funny because
Did
I
you-
remember my first exposure was the Batman, the Joel Schumacher one. Batman Forever.
So that's the first one you watched, or the one
Yeah,
you remember?
I don't remember if I watched the cartoons first or I know I watched the Michael Keaton ones like later in life. So I think either my first exposure was the cartoon, and then the movie
Okay.
came out, the Batman Forever, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like the cartoon. It totally wasn't.
Yeah. I get that.
Oh, man.
Oh, sorry, my bad. So yeah, I don't remember. It's funny because out of the Batman movies from the 90s, I I remember the villains more than I remember Batman. Like
Yeah.
I remember Jack Nicholson's the Joker. I remember Danny DeVito's the Penguin. Um, I remember Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent. I remember Jim Carrey as the Riddler. And I remember what's the villain woman name with the poison ivy.
Yeah.
So I remember them. I remember like their scenes more than I remember any scenes with actually Batman.
Yeah.
And
Same way.
and same thing like you said. Mr. Freeze is in Batman and Robin. I remember Mr. Freeze making his puns.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what Arnold Schwarzenegger does anyway.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so weird.
I can't believe I just learned all that just now. My
something new every
Batman
day.
history has been. That's just I can't believe they changed the actor. That's the one that I wonder how that was for like viewers at the time. Were they like, what the heck? New actor.
Well, it's funny because I don't think we notice it as much as we do now. I feel like actors change nowadays, and we all know about it before it even makes like the news.
Yeah, that's true.
But you watched all of the Christian Bale Batmans then, right?
Mm-hmm. I would say, I mean, if we're talking about actors here, yeah, I don't really have a favorite. Maybe goes Christian Bale by default.
Just because he did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean,
even though
let's be honest, he did a really good job.
Really good. Maybe not as believable as like Michael Keaton. Like that association. Like when you see Tom Holland, you think, oh, he's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
When you see Christian Bale, you're like, like Batman's not the first thing that comes to mind. But for me, like George Clooney, Batman. So sad. Or,
wow, that's interesting.
Michael Keaton. I think maybe because I hadn't watched that many George Clooney movies. And so that was my first. And I was like, oh, instantly glued to him. Watching Ocean's
it's
11,
funny because
Batman.
I feel like I've seen George Clooney in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And obviously now I can't think of anything, but I know that I've seen him in a lot of different movies. And so my association of Batman and George Clooney was never really there.
Yeah.
I think I was, in my youth, Batman was Batman, you know? Like it wasn't tied to an actor like Christian Bale was. Like he was Batman to me for a long time. Just like Heath Ledger's the Joker. But I think that's more because Heath Ledger did also an extremely good job at the Joker.
Oh yeah. Really good. And then you do have that Joker movie, which was a really good Joker as well.
Do you think he did it because of the role, or do you think there was something else going on?
What do you mean?
Like Heath Ledger dying.
Um,
Like I don't know. Did you ever hear the rumors that he did such a good job as the Joker and he immersed himself so much into the role that the reason he killed himself was because of his method acting?
I did hear about that.
Do you think that's true?
I would say maybe partially true. When you do method acting, you gotta like really think like the character, dig deep. Like I've heard other actors that play dark roles, and then they always say how like they have to go into this deep place and it's kind of scary. I'm sure it like affected him, but I don't think that was the reason. I think he already was taking before it, but it just happened to align. I don't know.
I think so too. I don't think he did it because of the role. I think he already had his issues, and it just happened to happen right after the movie came out. But the reason I don't think the role of the Joker caused the suicide is because he still worked on another movie before he died. And in fact, he was not done with that movie when he died. I think it's the Mr. Something's Wonderful Emporium or something like that.
I've never
Like
heard of that.
he was in that movie, and he was supposed to be in the end of the movie, but because he passed, they had to switch the actor. And so the story of the movie actually had to change because of his death.
Dang.
But it kind of worked out, I guess. I mean, in a very cynical way, but
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he did it. I just think he was just legitimately a really good actor, and he was very convincing. And I think we should give him credit for that.
Yeah.
And not just blame the acting on, or blame his death on his acting skills.
Yeah.
What about Ben Affleck?
Oh, Ben Affleck. I think that was I just accepted him out of default pittiness. I don't know, because I think it was to a point where you've seen so many Batmans, you're like, okay, whatever. Who's this new Batman? Because our first exposure to him was Batman v Superman, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the first one, and that was pretty cool. I think the fact that he used a voice changer instead of him changing his voice, that was a nice touch, right?
Yeah. I tried to accept Ben Affleck as the Batman. I didn't like how chunky he was. I don't know.
No,
I understand. I mean, when you look at the cartoons, or the comics for that matter, yeah, they're strong. That he's beefy and whatnot, and I do understand that Ben Affleck was playing an older Batman, somebody that was already seasoned. Not a new origin story, and I kind of like that, but I don't know. There's something about it that I just didn't. It just didn't.
He looked fine in Batman vs Superman, I think, but then time passed, and what I like to call Ben Afflecked, and then he got that chunk.
He Ben Afflecked.
I think.
But see,
everyone goes through that. I went through it.
You Ben Afflecked?
Yeah. Like, if you look at my photos when I was younger, I was a lot thinner. And then these came out. And that's why I have a beard now, so I can hide my Affleck.
Oh, it's funny. I I feel like I'll get there at some point. Actually, I've grown this in whatever. I don't have a jawline anyway.
Yeah, you do. I can see.
It's not very well defined. You know how Batman, Robert Pattison has his defined line of goes whoosh, whoosh,
Yep.
and it goes straight out. Yeah, I don't have that. Mine just goes low a little bit, but also I have this. Anyway, enough of chins. But it's funny though. I think it's because of Batman and Superman that I don't like the Ben Affleck Batman. And I don't think it's Ben Affleck's fault. I think it's the director's fault, the story writing's fault. Because of the whole Martha scene.
Oh.
The whole Martha, that's what
deal.
blew it for me. That scene happened, and I was just throwing my hands up, and I'm like, what is this? I want my money back. I want my time back.
Tell our viewers what you mean by that. Because I think, refresh my memory. Because I remember when I heard about it, I was like, oh, that's not that big of a deal.
Oh, it's a big deal. It's such a big deal. Okay, to remind you and to remind viewers that may not remember or not know, And spoiler alert, if you don't know and you really want to, go watch Batman vs Superman. So Batman wants to kill Superman because Superman's fight from the Superman movie destroyed a lot of the city, a lot of Gotham. And Batman's like, oh, you're bringing your battles here and you're killing innocent people. And I mean, you see innocent people dying, and like, yeah, it sucks. That's actually a cool thing, a cool thing to see, like
a good theme to explore.
Well, yeah, like I like the fact that they went to as far as showing that superhero battles go with consequence.
Yep.
Like when you see all these battles in cities and stuff like that, most movies don't show you people dying. This one did, and I think I like that, right? What I didn't like is that in Batman vs Superman, he goes so far to get kryptonite and get him to the right spot so that he can kill him. He goes through all of the process. He finally has him down. He's about to like shove a spear down his like chest or something. And Superman is just like, Martha, like please save Martha. Martha is Superman's mom. And it happens to be Bruce Wayne's mom's name as well. And so he hears the name Martha and he instantly goes to his mom and he's just like, what do you know this name? How do you know Martha? And he's like, it was my mom, it's my mom. Please help her, save her. And then Bruce Wayne suddenly has this change of heart of saying like, oh, your mom's name is Martha? My mom's name is Martha. Maybe you're not so bad after all. I'm not going to kill you anymore. Here, let's be friends. Okay, obviously I'm exaggerating, but that's basically what happens. And I don't feel, bring in all the context you want, I don't feel like that line should have or would have been enough to change Batman's mind on killing Superman. Like, why does the mom's name mean everything to you? Like it I don't know, it kind of made no sense. And I'm like, that's it? That's how they become friends, is because their mom's name is Martha?
That does sound silly.
Yeah. So I was like, no, I don't accept this. So yeah. Ben Affleck is probably
your least, the worst?
Maybe not the worst.
George Clooney. You're telling me George Clooney is better than Ben Affleck?
You know what? I think I need to rewatch the old movies in order for me to really come to that conclusion, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Ben Affleck.
Man.
There's elements of him that I like, but there's a lot of it that I don't. And again, maybe it's not even Ben Affleck himself. Maybe it's just the writing in these movies. But I didn't really like the idea of Ben Affleck being Batman. The movies didn't prove me wrong. So I still don't like Ben Affleck as being Batman. His appearances as Batman in the latest movies, I don't like. Like, I like Superman. I like his movie. But everything afterwards with Batman and Ben Affleck, I didn't like. And it's a shame because Jeremy Irons as Alfred, I thought he was a good choice. I like Jeremy Irons, and I think he's a good, he did a good Alfred. And talking about villains too, Jared Leto as Joker was a joke. Pun intended.
Wasn't he supposed to get like his own movie at one point?
I don't know.
And then even when they filmed, was it Justice League? They had all this extra footage of Jared Leto, and it wasn't even used in the movie.
Yeah, because he sucks. He's good at concerts. I'll give him that. I've seen him live. He's a great singer. He's a great artist. And I don't want to go as far as say that he's a bad actor. I don't think he's a bad actor. But he is a terrible Joker.
Yeah.
And his whole tattoo thing that he had going on, I'm like, trying to be Post Malone here or something? Like, like no, it just doesn't work, man. Like, I'm sorry, it just.
Oh man, I remember when that
good.
trailer came out. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is so bad," and then people are like,
Yeah.
That's what we thought about Heath Ledger as Joker, and then he turned out to be the best Joker. And then that Joker came out, and like, no, it still sucked.
Yeah, he's still bad. He's still really bad. What about
Post.
Yeah, like with all the tattoos and everything, I'm like, he's trying to be a rapper, like, and people trying to justify it, saying like, well, it's a different type of Joker where like, what is it? He's edgy or he's gone through, I don't know what in his life. I'm like, that's the point. The point is that Joker doesn't need all the tattoos to be the crazy person he is. He's crazy because he's crazy, not because he has white paint and tattoos all over his face. Like, that does not tell me he's crazy.
Tattoos on his face. Remember that one?
Yeah. His actions tell me he's crazy. And even that, his actions weren't that bad. Yeah. The whole scene with him coming out of the liquid thing in was it Suicide Squad? I think. Yeah.
I think okay.
Where he throws Harley Quinn into the pool of acid and he jumps there, and then they both come out and he's just like, I don't know what he's doing. I'm like, what is this? It's so bad. I'm done with my rant.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that movie that well.
Good.
I think I watched it on the plane. And I think I fell asleep.
Yeah. Might be a good plane movie. I guess if you can't sleep. What about what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah, I was thinking. You know, the funny thing about that movie is that I feel like it wasn't like a Batman Joker movie. It was a man that had issues, and that a society that was failing him, right? And that it just happened. We live in a society. Yeah. But and it was just about a man, you know, and then they happened to use the Joker name, and it worked.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was the whole DC darkness, gritty thing that people wanted, because it was the realism or grounded aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. No, I think the Joker was a fantastic movie in the sense of like it was really well made, good story. Really sad, like super depressing, you know, but I appreciate it, and like I'm all about the actors, the writing, I mean, that's what I like about the movies, and I just think Joaquin Phoenix did such a good job at portraying that version of the Joker, and I know that people really want him to be like, I feel like people are way too much into like connected universes and stuff like that. And even though that worked for Marvel and kind of worked for DC, and I'm sure there's other movies out there that kind of connect a little bit, and it works. But you also gotta like chill. You gotta chill. I think Joker was good on its own, and I think it should stay its own movie. There should not be a sequel. There shouldn't be a prequel. There shouldn't be any other movies attached to it saying like, oh, well, remember when this happened and the crazy man was the Joker? Like, no, just let it be.
Yep, I agree.
It's good. It's good like that. It's some movies just need to be their own movies.
Just like Christopher Nolan Batman.
You got your trilogy. That's it.
Yep.
Stop wanting
Don't mess with it.
to connect it over and over again. It's in a well.
You have to work for it, and Marvel worked for it.
Yeah,
that's why it worked.
Marvel had a good idea of what they wanted to do, and they did it, and they did it right. Yeah. But funny thing, I know we're talking about Batman, but like funny thing about the new Spider-Man, and what I liked about it is that it kind of did separate itself a little bit from like the multiverse, even though it literally is about the multiverse. It's still a Spider-Man movie. It's not like the first one where they have Iron Man coming in every 2 seconds, and it's not like Far From Home where you had Shield coming in every other scene. Even though Doctor Strange is at the beginning and at the end of the movie, and that you have, I mean, it's not a spoiler at this point, right? But you have 3 Spider-Man. It's still a Spider-Man movie. Like, he's the main focus.
Yep.
He's the protagonist. Like, there's nothing else. And I like that. I like that it's his movie. And I think even in connected universes, that's a good thing, to just focus on the one person. That's why we go see the movie, is to see his story, not
everyone
always how everybody connects. Yeah. With that being said, I am looking forward to the multiverse, but the point of the multiverse is to multiverse. So to see a lot of different characters and stories develop in that movie is what should happen, because that's what the movie's about. When it comes to Batman, we should focus on Batman.
Yeah, I think that was the problem. They wanted to do Marvel right away, with like Flash, all these new characters already in one movie, without giving them proper time to like build up and stuff. Like Aquaman, right? And then you have Cyborg that just came out of nowhere. Yeah.
No origin, no nothing.
Yeah, right.
And even then, it's not like they tried to explain his character very well. They're just kind of like, oh, people will know who he is. And it's like, no, nobody knows who he is. Like, unless you're a hardcore fan, which, I mean, it's fine. But it's kind of like you know that they wanted to do that with monsters, right?
Oh yeah,
the Dark Universe. Mummy. Yeah, with the Mummy, and they wanted to expand, and I'm like, again with this, man. I'm just over
failed it. Miserably.
Yeah, for real. So can we? I know you said you don't have a favorite actor, but what's your favorite Batman movie so far?
Favorite movie? Batman movie?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Batman movie?
I would say Dark Knight Rises.
The third one.
No, that one is the Dark Knight.
That is the Dark
Knight. Oh my gosh, yeah. Dark Knight. Wow.
Yeah, okay.
So much for being my
I was like, wow,
movie.
That's a first. Okay, so we agree on that. Dark Knight is probably the best Batman movie so far.
It's funny because I saw that one first before Batman Begins.
Really?
And then I watched it and I was like, man, this is not as good as The Dark Knight. You know?
Yeah.
Which is strange because usually the first one is always the best one. But
yeah, it's one of the few movies where the sequel is better.
Yeah. Like Scarecrow was like, it was okay.
I mean, yeah, he was fine. But the thing is, the real villain was Ra's al Ghul all along anyway.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, Dark Knight is, yeah, it's got that feel.
That is the Batman movie.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not campy. It's not cheesy. It's because even like the Michael Keaton ones were pretty cheesy. He had the one-liners. And then the Paul Schumacher ones, or Joel Schumacher ones, you just have it just extremely cheesy. And then this one in Dark Knight, you don't have any of that. It's just grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Overusing the word.
No, but it's because it's true. It's funny because they're coming from comic books, and so we should expect them to be kind of cheesy, I guess, to an extent. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because I actually haven't read any Batman comics. But I get what you're saying. Like the movie, the live action adaptation, I appreciate it when they ground it, when they make it feel like it's really happening and it's not just a fantasy world. I think it's good to have a mix of both, honestly. But yeah, Dark Knight, 9 out of 10 probably for me. Everything about that movie was great, and I'm hoping to rate this new Batman higher than that. I have high hopes for it. I've heard good reviews from people. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I might wait till it comes out on streaming though.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna go watch it?
I don't know. Brittany was telling me about it. She was like, "Hey, the movie's coming out, isn't it?" I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like I haven't been keeping tabs, but it was funny because she was telling me she's totally opposite about Robert Pattinson.
She hates him.
Just does not. She's like, she just does not see him as Batman. He just expects him to, in one scene, to just start singing. What song is it? Helena.
Helena.
Oh my gosh, what is that? From My Chemical Romance.
I'm sure.
He just looks very emo, and he just doesn't. Just doesn't seem like a Batman.
All right. Okay. I'm sure I know the song. I just don't recognize the name of it. That's really funny. I guess when you guys watch it, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you my thoughts when I go see it? Because I'll be watching it on Saturday. So.
Should we? I don't know. Yeah. Sure. I want to, because we could do an experiment where you tell me your opinion and see if that influences my viewing experience. Because now we can, if you say it's bad, then my expectations will be low when I go into the movie and I might like it. Opposed to
if I tell you that it's really good and then it's all right, and then you'll be like, oh, well, I was expecting a lot more.
Exactly, right?
Huh. Ah, man, but that sucks because I don't wanna ruin your raw experience at watching the movie.
It's fine. I'm not too invested. As sad as that sounds.
All right, that's fair. Okay, well, I'll let you know. I'll have seen it. This episode's coming out Saturday, so I'll be watching it tonight then for the viewers that are watching on Saturday.
You're one? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking as if you were watching this on Saturday when this episode comes out. I'll be watching it today. And if you watch it after, then I've already seen it, and maybe you did too. But hey, let us know. Tell us who's your favorite Batman, who's your favorite, or which is your favorite Batman movie. Do you agree or disagree with the things that we've talked about today? Are you excited for this new Batman with Robert Pattison? Did you already see it? Are you going to go see it? Did we change your mind and now you're going to go see it? I feel like Bernie Sanders. When are you going to go see the movie? You're going to go see it tonight on Saturday? It's going to be the greatest movie.
If that doesn't get you hyped up for the movie, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I know. Even Gabe's going to go watch it now.
Yep, I have to. This experiment it's not gonna happen anymore because I'm gonna watch it now.
All right, cool. Well, it's all right. That's part of the experiment, I guess. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for joining us today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm doing the Bernie Sanders thing again. I'm sorry. Yeah, let us know your thoughts. Send us some comments and. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Peace.